Hello
Okay.
and welcome to the Gman 2B Division Season 4, match day 13. Okay, I did actively get those last two bits mixed up. Um, yes, with my co-host, as usual, Jivasak. Say hello in a croaky voice, Jivasak.
Hello there, everyone. Welcome once again to the stream.
Uh, Jivasak was explaining how his voice is a bit sore after having to shout for most of yesterday GMing D&D, and I need to apologise because I have done very little preparation for a recap that is happening 5 days after after the no 4 days after a rollover. um, Today, my main excuse is that I put everything off until the last minute, and then today at the last minute, or in fact for the whole day, Rebel Imperium started. So I've been I've definitely been doing admin stuff in Rebel Imperium and not just building my own decks and and stuff like that. But yeah,
Ah,
yeah,
that's interesting.
yeah. So first day of Imperium, all the new competitions have opened, and there's like a big flurry of everyone joining, which means that it's like a lot going on. And then because so many people joined so quickly, a couple of the competitions have started already, and like so I had to actually make my team, and then got asked questions by someone who's new because I'm an admin there and have been around for a little while now, I guess. Yeah, but I mean, very excited about that, and that has completely ruined any ability of me to make clips. I have clips from
Ah,
like 3 games out of 7. Um,
okay.
and while we were talking just before, that my distractedness may have been because I was looking at the replay of my own game because I couldn't remember what actually happened in it. Because
That's not very encouraging.
it was a long time ago. It was like we played. I don't know how long ago. Long time ago. Oh, Arctic Antarctic's in the chat, and I can't see the chat for some reason. That's weird. So the there's more people in the. Okay, excellent. We have viewers. Hurrah! Hello, Arctic Antarctic, and hello, Aldar, and hello, Cyclone. And I can only see the chat at the moment through OBS. I can't see the talk in on my usual like stream manager page. So I'm going to refresh that because that's and I have
Yeah, Aldar said the spicy comment that you didn't have any credibility before that, and he smiles.
that is fine. I'm not, I'm not professional. I'm fine with that. I also still have a bit of a sore throat, but I'm battling on. You might occasionally hear me sneeze or cough or whatever, but it's fine. I'm not dying. Just just a bit coffee and tired a lot, and that kind of thing. Anyway,
How
um,
come and both of us are with their throats on the day of the recap?
it's just a coincidence, obviously. Just in the same
Yeah,
way that Nurgle teams get a lot more games conceded to them than anyone else. It's just a coincidence, all right.
yeah, obviously, obviously.
I can't even. Is it winter flu in February? Does that count? I don't know.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Yeah,
Actually, is a valid one. Yeah.
yeah. The weather in Britain at the moment, like we didn't really have a winter in December, and it's gotten cold recently. So, and there's an actual hurricane where I am at the moment. So, there's it's been warned that people might lose internet. Now it's unlikely because I'm in London, so I imagine you know the bubble
Yeah.
of millions of pounds and people kind of protect us somewhat.
Your millions of pounds also?
Oh yeah, obviously, yeah. It costs
Obviously, obviously.
obviously, but it's all in assets. You can't. I don't actually have money to spend, but actually living in London costs so much.
Ah, yeah.
Anyway, yeah, and the coronavirus. It might be. Every time I sneeze, I wonder maybe it is the coronavirus. I can't tell. I had a friend of mine come over from China 2 months ago. So he's been posting lots of
Well,
pictures of him in a face mask recently.
yeah, there are a lot of airports closing down their flights from China, in Europe at least.
In one day,
Yeah.
Britain turned into a third world country. Is that because because of the weather and everything? Yeah. I mean, I'm still, whatevering.
Come on, all
Oh, do you mean
all
You mean because of Brexit? Possibly, he means.
because of the virus,
Oh,
probably.
the virus of Brexit.
Uh, yeah. Come on, all the good films that consists of zombies or the destruction of the world, half of them at least is from the virus.
Yeah. And no, Alda was talking about leaving the EU. So there you go. That is,
Yeah.
that was over a week ago. I'm over it now. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Oh, the bloody rebel icons stopped again. Why does it keep doing that? God damn it. Talk amongst yourselves. Or not. Or we could actually just show the first clip and talk about the first game, which was Nurgle. Sorry.
It's okay, it's okay.
It's appropriate to cough before talking about a Nurgle game, though, isn't it?
Yeah. Let's say that whenever you cough, you want to say something, but hide it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. So I could have just been rude about Alda under my cough.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the first game was Nurgle Mergle Urgle against Manus Ultras. What are they called? Dewar Tigers. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do have 2 clips from this game. I don't remember what they
Mm.
are. So the first one is so Nurgle received, and the Orcs got a blitz first kick off, which kind of put the Nurgle under quite a lot of pressure, and the Orcs did build quite a solid wall in front of the Nurgle team. Eventually, and also, the Nurgle team managed to lose 3 Chaos Warriors in the first 3 turns, which
Wow. That's a huge blow.
in a strength matchup, it's
Yeah,
bad.
and 2 of them not regenerating, huh?
Yeah,
And 1 KO.
yeah. So obviously that made the battle a lot harder. Oh, and also the beast deciding to really stupid in turn 2 and 3 was also not great for the the strength matchup of the Nurgle against Orcs.
Hmm.
And now this clip's actually kind of long because it shows the Nurgle having to kind of move away from the side they were pushing on, which is why there's all the Orcs on the other side, and the Orcs coming back. But what happens now is the Orcs go for a 2 assist foul on the Beast. And I feel like if they hadn't have done this, if they'd have carried on playing defensively instead of trying to remove the Beast, then they would have stopped the score. But because that player, the blitzer who just moved into assist, was next to the Beast in the midway line, that kind of gave the Nurgle team a chance. So even though the Beast is KO'd, I'm not sure he's going to have that much of an effect on the game. Sorry. And, he's not that fast. Nurgle clearly want to move a bit faster because they're running out of players. I mean, in this turn, they've got 4 active players. 5 active players, which is, tough to defend the ball with.
Yeah, I don't know also if I agree on with the piling on of the Black Orc there. If he stayed next to the ball carrier standing up, it would be better, I think. It's one of those times that when you get a lot of the removal scenery early on, you want to snowball that hardly that you just don't see the ball and where it will get.
Yeah. Yeah, and also I feel like it's easy to say in hindsight. It's one of those things as well. It's turn 3. It's quite early in the game. Aiming for removals is not a bad tactic, especially when it's clearly kind of working so well. And it got the Nurgle to use the wizard, which is useful. But in the end, the Nurgle get away with it, and that makes us think that it was a bad choice.
Yeah, true.
But as you can see, the blitz from the Orcs on the ball, turn 4, and just a push, and he's used a reroll already to do one of the many GFIs he did to get 2 dice on the ball, and the Nurgle
Yeah.
just run in and score on turn 5.
Yeah, I mean, but if you wanted to blitz with that player, the GFI really was not needed. It would have been a 2 die. So on the turn he blitzed, he could just reroll it instead of having to roll the pro, and in this case, it didn't work.
Yeah. But you know, maybe as well, if you're an Orc team and you're not that unhappy with the Nurgle scoring on turn 5, you actually have a chance to score back. Whoop, giant
Oh,
logo.
by any means, I still would favor the Orcs here. Even if they were 1-0 down, but the Wizard is used, they have probably the advantage of the play on the players, at least 2 players advantage. So yeah, I would favor in this situation the Orcs, even if the Nerds scored the touchdown.
Yeah. So but unfortunately for the Orcs, the kickoff event for their drive is a riot. So they actually only get 3 turns, not 4 turns.
Mm-hmm.
And uh, and the Orcs only really managed to get forward 2 scoring threats on turn 7, and so obviously the Nurgle blitz one of them down,
Mm-hmm.
and then the Orcs use up a reroll on blocks that I don't think were really necessary. Rolling, I mean, admittedly, you know, it was 2 skulls on like the second or third block, but like they didn't need to make blocks at all. They should have just gone for scoring straight away rather than hitting, in my
Yeah.
opinion, on turn 8. And then they have to make a throw without a reroll, and it's a 2. So they don't score on their drive.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, in fact, that is the only clip I've got from that game. So that is that. But then yeah, so so in the second half, the Orcs, do manage to. Oh wait, what was the score? The score was 1-0. That was it. Yeah. So the
1-0.
the Orcs used up all their rerolls very rapidly in the second half, and the Nurgle defended well. There was a bit of bad luck from the Orcs not being able to score back, but generally, you know, I feel like they used their rerolls too quickly.
Yeah.
So in that game, there were 2 MNGs of the. Oh, actually, so both the Nurgle warriors who didn't regen and left the pitch were both miss next games. So that's going to be good for their opponent's next game if they haven't played already. And no level ups for the Nurgle, but you know, a win's good.
Yeah.
And only 7 SPP for the Orcs.
Ah, okay. So yeah, because of the injuries were from dodging.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, there we are. I showed the Rebel thing, the RebelNet page there for a second. Oh, Aldar says, how much space did EU save when Great Britain left EU? 1 GB. Although he messed up the punchline by putting an exclamation mark. And also that joke was used. Wasn't that joke used on the podcast at some point? So you know, talk about people might have heard it already. Anyway.
Mm-hmm.
We need to do the betting on that, don't we? I don't know if because. Wait, no, we weren't late last week, so the betting is good. For the future games, I have already put in my predictions in the prediction bot. Where are we? Gman 2B recap predictions. Oh, I have even listened to the podcast. I wonder if there's supposed to be a knot in there. Anyway, oh, I should actually make that visible. So, for the predictions for that game, I predicted the Wild Tigers because I'm a fool.
Yeah, count me in also.
Oh, you predicted Wild Tigers too?
Yeah.
Okay. In fact, we can't really see everyone on the screen, but I'm still going to show it once I get to it. Here we go. Boom. Oh, it changes that. I always forget about that. Boom. All right. So, people who thought Nurgle, Murgle, Urgle would win were Uldar. Well done, Uldar. Continued winning in life. Walvis or Failfish, Woofbark, and someone else who I can, through the magic of using my phone, because you can see the predictions on the phone better, can tell you that the other person was Spartacus. So well done, Spartacus and Woofbark, and the rest of you for guessing that one correctly.
Yeah. We started really strong again.
You and me, you
for
mean?
Another week. Yeah.
Well, Aldar's now in double figures.
Oh,
double figures, which you can't see, so it looks like he's gone down to 1. There we go, that's better.
Yeah, I should have heard Aldar to vote where he votes.
You're just going to copy Aldar from now on. That's just going to be the way to do it.
That's a safe way to do it.
Yeah. Oh, and there isn't a Spartacus. Spartacus hasn't actually got any points up until now, so I'll have to add. I think Failfish, you also joined. I think you didn't join in the first week, right? So the first week was just me, Yuthasak, and Aldar. So we've got a head start on everyone because or maybe even 2 weeks. Well, no, 1 week, I think. But the 3 of us have a head start of everyone else.
Yeah. And I really think we won't be even close to top 3. The 2 of us, at least.
By the end of the season, everyone will have got so many more points than us that of course they'll have overtaken us.
Yeah.
Talk about positive thinking. I mean, I didn't include the bot's actual score, but the bot also thought the Wild Tigers would win. So even robots get it wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, and this is me adding in Spartacus's score on the fly. By the way, in case you're wondering what the 0 flying around the screen is. Yeah, and I guess I should add his name as well, right? Because I've made this a lot harder for myself by having separate text boxes for everything.
Yeah. And yeah, I agree.
When I've seen someone else do it, where they've actually done it in one big text box, which makes so much more sense.
And it is so much more easy.
Fun fact: there are 2 matches every week I am sure of. The rest is randomish, says Aldar. Oh, and I missed Walvis saying there must be some sort of plug-in to make that easier. I'm wondering. So there was talk about making like an API for RebelNet, and then I was just like join. I'd like, plug into the API.
He says the 2 matches, says Aldar, is I always pick myself to win and Cornite to lose.
Yep, I knew that was going to be the case. So I was about to preempt that, but was too busy reading all the other comments at the same time. But yes, I am well aware of your predilection for choices, Aldar. And well, yeah, I'm fine with that. I won a game this week, so no, you got less points. I might have actually bet against myself in that game, though. Anyway, talking of which, let's go on to the next game. So the next game was match day 2, and that was Ravensclaw's Gaudi against the Bloodsuckers Inc. Random Boy. Now, the vampires. Now, this game I don't know if I have a clip from the first half, but that no one scored in the first half, and it. Oh, actually, no, I do have a clip from the first half because this is an example of Spartacus' name being in the wrong place, of why no one scored. Essentially, the vampires got the ball and the Skaven red diced them every single turn with strip ball, bouncing the ball around, and no one really got control of it. Oh, Kfoged, or however you pronounce your name, is raiding with a party of 18. Thank you very much for the raid. If you want to hear about Division 2, or is there no one else on? Is it that bad? Yeah, so basically this is a short, this little clip will show you all you need to know about the first half of this game, which was Rats failed to control the ball on the Vampires' drive by, they stopped the Vampires from scoring, but basically it was just strip ball, fail to pick up, Vampires pick up, strip ball. So you decided to hand over to Rebel. I do the same thing. I tend to aim for raiding Rebel, other Rebel streams after Rebel things. Anyway, thank you very much. Your 18 viewers can stay in chat, or they'll leave. We'll see. But anyway, yeah. Carrying on with Random Boys Vampires against Gaudi's Rats. In the second half, the Rats received. Oh, so no, yes. Oh, yeah. So I did mention. Oh, hello, Dimmy, as well. I did mention at the beginning I have been really slack, and I didn't actually get clips from that Chaos Chorf match in the end because I was slack, and also because Rebel Imperium started today, and I was playing. You're playing against Wolfbark as well. Nice. Well, we're getting to his game next, I think, after this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the next one.
But yeah, I didn't clip that, although I'm sure we'll get to see lots of dead players on the RebelNet page from it. I think that was... if I know Aldar's idea of exciting games, that's the definition, isn't it? It's lots of skulls. Oh my god, yes, I've looked at the page, I can see. Yes, that is exactly what turns Aldar on.
That's what we would expect from him.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I just looked at the page.
Yeah, there you go.
It's an understatement. That's what you'd expect that I said.
Yeah.
My god. That
anyway, but we're not doing that right now. We're sticking to the plan, which is Gaudy against Random Boy, goddammit.
yeah, but I wouldn't suggest anyone from missing that.
Yeah, it might be worth watching the replay, if you're that way inclined.
Oh, I'm totally up for it.
Yeah.
I will enjoy because I wasn't playing.
Yeah. Hey, Crystal Hunter.
Here is what I consider my top rat coach. By far, Crystal.
Well, Crystal was in T2B last season with us until he managed to rat his way up into the first division.
Yeah. And he's either in the top or close to the top. I don't remember. I think he was on the top for a time. Now he's third, yeah.
Ha! You lost a game.
No,
he
hasn't lost yet.
He drew a game.
So
he couldn't even sack my ball carrier last season, says Aldar. Anyway, yes. So back to the vampire rat game of Gaudy. So I think one of the main reasons why the vampires managed to draw this is that although no one scored in the first half and they had 5 players KO'd, 4 of them came back. So I decided this was a worthwhile clip from this game, which is 4 vampires standing up, 4 vampire players standing up.
He didn't have a babe, did he?
Nope, no babe. Just random luck of Random Boy.
Well, someone said, Aldar, I think it was, that he's lucky.
In fact, the opposite. It was Gaudy who had a babe. Gaudy had 2 KOs as well, and only one of them came back. Like a noob dice.
Yeah.
So yeah. I do have one last clip from this. So I've got to say that all right. So the rats obviously scored fairly easily against the vampires. You know, it was they stayed back for it was once the vampires put them under a bit of pressure, they just scored as a a safety net thing. They got 1-0 up, but like the rats did the right things generally about making vampires move around. You know, last week I showed a clip where you saw the ball holding vamp just stay still for 3 turns. That didn't happen this game. Every vamp kind of had to activate all the time, and and it made it very hard for Random Boy in that way. And rats are a really bad matchup for vampires amongst many other bad matchups. So the last clip is actually of Random Boy's scoring attempt, or his last two drives. Now, yeah, Random Boy didn't get the Luck and Noob award twice for nothing. I say that, but I think like he played really well as well. You know, you don't just get lucky in Blood Bowl. Although he is throwing over a gutter runner here, and the gutter runner rolls a 1 on the interception roll, but and then he rolls a 1, so he saved himself from a double 1 by one of them being an interception roll. And then he hits the main defending gutter runner, who gets armor broken. So maybe a little bit lucky.
Well, yeah.
Uh,
That was actually perfect.
yeah.
The
But
strip ball is too far away to reach, huh?
well, you say that's what I thought as well, and I was like, why is he doing all these pointless hits? But actually, it's because the strip ball isn't quite too far away, and you will see in a few seconds the strip baller coming over and hitting the ball. Eventually. But I do feel like he overcommitted with the strip baller, and I think he gets a 1 on the GFI. Or I think oh no, here we are. So he ones with a gutter to get into contact, and that uses the reroll. So he doesn't have any rerolls at this point. And then the strip baller comes in, gets a push. The vampire has sidestep, so that's Donald Trump, the legend vampire, who I have previously had in Rebel Imperium. Not that that's at the forefront of my mind at the moment, with today being Rebel Imperium Day. And in no way is Rebel Imperium starting today the reason why I didn't get as many clips as normal. It totally is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Random Boy ends up rolling a lot of dice, but they're all things which the failure of is not too bad. So, like, he moves Vampire. If it bloodlusted, he would have eaten someone rather than do that hypno gaze, and it would have made something later a bit harder, but it didn't fail, so it wasn't a big deal. And then the other one didn't bloodlust, and the third one didn't bloodlust. But I feel a little bit like the rats were defending, hoping that bloodlust would happen. And that's that was their plan, was that at some point a vampire in turn 16 will bloodlust, and it will cause so much problems for Random Boy. But it didn't happen. So as you can see, I'm showing the Gaudi's Raven's Claws here, and 3 of them got injured. All of them in the second half, in fact. Including that MNG gutter runner who we saw on the clip, who he used the Apo in turn 15 on, hoping to stop it being MNG because he likes the strip ball so much. But no one leveled up, no one died, so I guess it's not too bad.
No, not at all. He would be, I think, a little bit disappointed that he didn't win this game. Because, this draw was not a bad result, but since he managed to stop the Vamps from scoring on their drive, he was hoping for, and he could get the win. but both of them played really well. I mean, the tactical decisions and where even to stun the player was perfect, to say at least.
Hmm.
That hypnotic gaze on the rat just to save the one GFI.
Hmm.
So I can tell that is everything is was calculated, and then it was up to dice to decide if it would work or not.
Yeah, I mean, like, no offense to Gaudi, but I do think Random Boy played better. You know,
Hmm.
yeah.
But I think it was a high level of mind games
Hmm.
because both of those teams they don't rely really on remote
No.
play, but their positioning should be above average at least to win, and they performed really well.
Mm, yeah. No levels to the vampires either. The dead thrall was fairly early on, I think.
Bye, Wolfbark. By the way,
Oh,
Wolfbark
bye
has to
with Bark.
go.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot for coming by.
Oh, and
Well, the thrall is nothing that.
yeah. The thrall's not a big deal. He died very early on, and in fact, the vamps only had one bench, so they were
Mhm.
down players pretty much from turn two.
Yeah.
And the fact they managed to defend with, I think they ended the first half with 4 or 5 players on the pitch, and still managed to stop the they didn't score, but the rats didn't score either.
Hmm.
Which I think Gaudi should have had a scoring threat on turn 8, but maybe I might be being
Yeah.
a bit overly picky generally.
Well, I don't think also that Gauti is a player that he wouldn't have. I don't know the situations of the game, how it ended up,
Hmm.
but it's not a coach that he would neglect that like me. Yeah.
Yeah, it might have been that there were. I didn't look close enough to say for certain that there weren't like that. He had maybe he held players back because he really had to, or because he was in a position where a failure would have cost him the turn, and he couldn't dodge them out that early. And that's your
Hmm.
other more important things first. Fine. Oh, I put Spartacus up, but I put him on 0 points. Just realised, so he should be on 1. So anyway,
And now he goes to 2.
now he goes to 2. Okay, I'll do that in one go. Excellent.
Yeah. And also Skitalen.
Okay, so from this, I'm taking that. Oh, that's the only
That's
2 people who went for a draw. I guess that's.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the 2 on Spartacus is the other way around.
Oh, cool. I'm dyslexic and it comes through in my video production.
I didn't know it was a thing.
What the?
Only in video production.
Yeah. No, I'm also dyslexic everywhere else.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Ah, so unfortunately, Wolfbark left and it's his match next, huh?
Sorry. So, oh yeah, it is his match next. You're right.
But we
Uh,
can say now anything we want. He's not here.
yeah. Unfortunately, he won it, so we can't really say that he's terrible.
Yeah,
Or anything. Uh,
yeah he always stops us from joining a little bit.
so the interesting thing that happened here was that it was a quick snap. There was a Tomb Guardian 1 square away from the ball where the ball was landing. So he moved the Tomb Guardian. So sorry. So Saitalen. No, not Saitalen. It was Thurnlau, right? It's the Imperishable 4 he played.
Yeah.
Uh, I should really have this a bit more. There we are. Yes, it was. Okay, yeah, it was Thurnlau. Thurnlau had a 4 SPP Tomb Guardian not on the line, so he moved him underneath the ball, and he caught the ball. So the whole first drive was Thurnlau moving Ramesses the fifth. Oh no, sorry. Oh, moving a Tomb Guardian up the field.
Amotep, the second one should
Is it,
be.
is it Amatec the second one?
Yeah.
Um,
The only one who was at 4 SPP before the game.
oh, there you go. Yeah. No, it was 2-tank Obono the fourth.
Okay.
Yeah. No, wait, was it? Oh no, you're right. No, you're right. Yeah. Amatep the second. So he caught the ball on a tomb guardian anyway, with no other skills, with 4 SPP. He gets down to the goal line, and then this happens. Where is the clip? Yeah. So Wolfbark makes a very nice move with his plus strength horns frenzy gutter to get
Oh my god,
a red dice.
those two heads.
Yeah, and 2 heads as well, which is kind of sick. Really putting the pressure on. Now, I've only had a look at this for a little while. I feel like there's a better way out of this than what Thurnlau did, but I can't see it. So there's a plus strength gutter and a sidestep gutter on the ball. And that was a break tackle dodge. He didn't need to make the hit on the sidestepping gutter runner at all, I don't think.
Yeah.
But he was unlucky because basically he won in 27s.
Yeah, but since he break tackled,
yeah,
it could be done with two ways. Either hitting the gutter runner that was the strength up first, or just dodging out with as he did with the break tackle guy and blitz the sidestep, because he has tackle also.
Oh, actually, no, you're right. I do. I like the if you break tackle out at the moment, there's a square, so the break tackle plus strength Blitzra could hit the gutter runner with tackle.
Yeah.
And Mighty Blow and piling on, and that will push the Tomb Guardian out into a position where you go straight onto that 3 dice. But whatever. He ends up 1 in 27 the 3 dice, which is a bit harsh, I guess. But
yeah, I have no idea about Skaven play, but yeah, probably I would go for that, because just from the tackle, because that Gataran has also diving tackle. It is a pretty damn hard piece to go away from.
Yeah. So yeah, you've got to find some way of getting away from the sidestepping diving tackle one. So maybe that's why he punched him first, but I don't know. Crystal Hunter, by the way, says Wolfbark is a really good coach. By the way, I don't think anyone disagrees with that.
Oh no.
Doing extremely well with Skaven, that he doesn't have too much experience with. Everyone in Blood Bowl has experience with Skaven, usually against them though. That's all.
Come on, really? I didn't know that Wolfbark doesn't have experience in Skaven.
I mean, I don't know. Definitely not like not to the same level that Crystal Hunter has.
Yeah, but he's playing remarkably well for someone who has a little experience. I thought he was like a monster, like Crystal Hunter, playing only rats for like 100 games every 1.5 month, and then he plays nothing else just to take a rest, and then again rats.
Well, I mean, was Wolfbark a player who started in Rebel? Wasn't he? He was a Rebel rookie at one point, right? So a lot. I don't know. Like he can't have gained the experience that Crystal Hunter has in Rats, because he's been playing for like half the time that Crystal Hunter has, unless he plays a
Crystal
lot.
Hunter actually says us that Wolfbark usually plays Undead. He picked up Skaven for Rebel.
I mean, I think I've seen him play a few races, not just. Yeah, he's a CCL champion as well. So, but both of you play in multiple leagues, and both of you play in CCL and play lots of games. I'm assuming it's going to be hard for him to catch up the 1,000 games of rats that you have, Crystal Hunter, in any choice.
Yeah.
Um, Actually, so his most played race, according to Spikebot, is humans with 175. Then it's undead with 125. Then chaos with 115. Then necromantic. Then chorf, all close to the 100 mark.
And
So,
where are Skaven?
oh, they're not on the top 5 races that I can see for him.
Okay.
But that's quite a mixture of different races. I don't think I
You know,
don't think of him as a specialist of any of them.
yeah, but in order to perform like this, and he's performing in all the first 4 weeks, despite of the results, of course, that he won most of them. Um, he's performing really well and stable. I couldn't find any major mistake or something like that.
Mhm.
And that's pretty amazing because even if you've played 1,000 games total to adjust to a new team, it's really tough. You have your setup, your mindset mostly, playing a specific way of games and then completely changing them because the teams you mentioned, they are not like dodgy teams or anything close to Skaven.
Mm.
So he had to adapt into a totally new play style, and he's performing amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it is one of the things that it's the Blood Bowl. There is the teams are very varied and different, and there is a kind of different play style to all of them to a greater or lesser extent. I
Mhm.
I think that it's better to be a master of none, and once you experience all the different teams, uh, it makes you play better against them. So like there's nothing I like more than when someone says, "Oh, this team is overpowered," and I go, "You play them," and when you play them, you will realize that they aren't overpowered at all because your opponents will beat you with them, and
Yeah,
you will see the holes that they have when your opponents murder
I
you.
mean that's the point of the game, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Every team has its advantages and disadvantages, m- and it's not only early or only at the late stages. They still have different advantages. I mean, development is really up to the coach in some occasions how you develop your team. You can make choices, and that's pretty good for the game. You don't have to play a specific way, and we see it in more than one teams.
Crystal Hunter
Uh,
says, "I just play what I think looks cool. Wood elves look like pansies, so I don't play them." Which as someone who's probably played more wood elves, I know I probably played similar amounts of wood elves to Skaven. They're my two of my favorite races for
yeah, I think I've played 2 matches with Wood Elves.
yeah.
Two. Out of, I don't know, I've played close to 400, 500 games.
Mhm.
I can't play them. I really can't.
It's taken you
I
500 games to work that out.
No. Ooh. I can't look at them at the screen when I'm playing.
Mhm,
That way they move. Uh, I don't know. It's up to what you like. Also, I just can't watch them.
mhm,
And by the way, because as we all know, for some unknown reason to me, most of the coaches really hate dwarfs. The reason remains unknown to me. What we were talking with Crystal also and agreed is that, yeah, okay, dwarfs have a pretty solid start with the skills they have. I mean, on almost every player block, it's amazing.
mhm.
On half of the team tackle, yeah, you will need it. Uh, but getting over that movement 4 is painful, um, especially when you get, for example, versus orcs early on. It's really hard to deal with.
I mean, orcs are not that much faster, but they're both like
No, but
and
they are stronger.
Yeah.
So
You're swapping skills for strength, basically.
Yeah.
And I see Khemri in a similar light in that I think the three of them are all very strong positioning teams. So it's easy to run around like Crystal Hunter as a rat and just do things, and you probably won't get too punished as long as you don't get punched too much,
Yeah. Why do you think I've never played Crystal? He would probably humiliate me like 4-0 or 5-0, or because he likes me, maybe 3-0 and then go around without scoring. Probably that would be the case.
I mean, the only team I hate are Amazons. Like an entire team where everyone's got one stat line and dodge is just so boring. Anyway, let's move on from this back onto the. Let's try and keep a little bit of.
Of what?
Of
What do you mean?
organized. Let's go back to the game. Okay.
We're 1
Um,
hour 20 minutes and we've done 3 matches. Why?
because we've still got next week to talk about as well.
Yeah. Yeah. We have to talk about that also. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And hi, Shawnee. By the way, I didn't say hi
Hello.
to everyone. All right. So did I even finish talking about the game? So in the second half, Wolfbark held the ball on a gutter runner, or handed off occasionally, ran up the field, came back again, went down the other wing, basically stayed as far away from possible as the Khemri. The Khemri had a bribe, by the way, in case Uldar that makes you think that the not enough crosses is even more of a problem. Yes, and I know that that's partly also a comment on the wanting to show off all the crosses and skulls in your game. But yeah, and then Wolfbark scores on turn 16, and there's not really much that Thurnlau could do in this game to beat them after the second half. So, should we carry on to the? Oh no, we still haven't done the predictions for this. So, in terms of predictions,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, a
almost,
lot of people.
yeah. Who'd have thought it? Lots of people thought that Wolfbark would win. So much
Oh,
so,
except me
except you. Basically,
and
everyone
Spartacus
except you. You went for a draw, and
and Spartacus.
Spartacus. Well, so the reason that Spartacus. Oops, I unclicked that. There we go. The reason Spartacus wasn't on the scoreboard before, he had been taking part the week before, but hadn't got any points up until this point in the thing. But I will give everyone. Oh, who just did? There we are. Yeah, 7. That's right. All right. So me, Uldar, Arctic, Antarctic, Failfish, Cytlan, and Wolfbark obviously all got that one correct. So I will update the scores. Let me see. Me, obviously, firstly and most importantly.
Yeah.
Not Juvasak. Uldar, who's now an 11. God damn it. I say Failfish, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And Arctic Antarctic.
Everyone except me and Spartacus, actually.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Random Boy didn't click. Nah, Random Boy didn't take part this week.
Okay.
He was obviously too busy. Okay, done. Boom. All right. And the next matchup is... Okay, so the next matchup is Cytolen's Block You Like a Hurricane versus Failfish's
No,
Tanking
Spartacus.
Generals. What?
Spartacus King Slayers.
Oh, did I choose the wrong? I was looking at the wrong thing. Wait a second. Sorry. Trying to do a bunch of stuff all at once. So I actually haven't looked at this game and I have no idea what happened. Do you have any idea, Juvasak?
No, not at all.
Excellent.
Let's see the stat.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. That momentary question was partly so I could wander over to the correct page on rebel.net.
Oh no, I won't give you that time.
Yeah. So Spartacus. Yeah, go on.
As we can see on the scoreboard, there were a lot of armor breaks for this kind of matchup. I mean, there was 16 armor breaks from Block You Like a Hurricane and 10 from the King Slayers,
Uh,
with not a lot of blocks from either side.
I am,
One in one in three was an armor break.
yeah, I'm guessing that the two completed passes, are probably a lot of this story. Yeah, and goblins dodging away from not much tackle, keeping players alive. There's not very many crosses on this game, considering it's stunty and AV7 against a killy team like Kemri.
Yeah.
3 cows for the Kemri. Obviously, Appoed one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And the touchdown and MVP going to one goblin. So we finally have. Oh, I didn't do the guess what skill you've got on the Kemri one because I kind of showed the Tomb Guardian on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Arctic Antarctic says, okay, so Aldar's complaining that I haven't taken clips of his game and thinks it's personal. I'd like to say I was so organized that I specifically missed out your games just because it's personal, and was organized enough to bother with any kind of anti anyone.
Well,
Sounds
to
like
be
too much
honest,
effort.
yeah, to be honest, Aldar, he planned it
Yeah.
before time, no matter the result or what happened. Uh, I don't know. Rumor says that he might do it next week also on you. I don't know. But I would propose, since this should be a really nice game, to watch it on a replay if you have the time also.
I mean, you're assuming that the replays are still visible at this point in the. I mean,
Yeah, it
if
is.
if you okay, good. I mean, you can always go on to Goblin Spy and download replays from there. You just need to change.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, we can watch it on the replay if you want from the client of Blood Bowl. It's still there.
Yeah.
I think they get erased after the second week.
Okay, so I've just opened up the replay that I downloaded off Goblin Spy already in the replay viewer, and I can tell you that the Kemri don't score in the first half; they get the ball, and the Kingslayers have only 2 KOs and they have 3 reserves,
Mm-hmm.
whereas the Kemri have 3 reserves as well, and also 2 KOs, but managed to get held back, stopped from scoring, and then the Undead basically come forward pretty quickly. Oh, they lose the ball, turn 13, but get it back and score. And then manage to hold them off for the third drive. So there you go. That's a quick précis. Anyway, what were we talking about? So yes, level up guesses. What do you think a two-headed goblin that gets a touchdown and an MVP gets on an Underworld team?
A two-headed goblin.
Yep. So mutation and agility access only. He's already got a double and he's taken wrestle on another goblin.
On another, okay.
Yeah.
Big hands, I would say.
Interesting. Yeah, I like that combination. I'd like horns first. Getting that one die with a goblin.
Yeah, but
dodging
I
it
mean,
first.
he could take it on the wrestle guy since he rolled the double.
Aldar says claw as a skill after.
Yeah, that's Aldar, of
Yeah.
course. Of course.
You've not played Underworld, have you, Aldar?
No, I think Aldar would be happy with the sneaky git also.
Yeah.
It's one of the two.
He went for extra arms, I'm afraid.
Okay, it makes sense also.
It's a bit like Big Hand, except
Yeah, I mean it makes sense.
Yes, I have, says Aldar. He has played them and he sucked with them.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. He's the one player that he will get up the ball under 4 players
Mhm.
to try to get it out. The rest of Goblin probably would go after for horns to
Oh,
try do that.
I missed Wolfbark's joke of a 2 skill goblin should get sacked, which I think is you know in the
Uh-huh.
min maxing world of CCL is a good idea. I know I see that you say you had a 2 heads, extra arms, big hand goblin, which I think is basically where one of them should be built towards.
Mhm.
Yeah, you still roll snakes all the time, and you end up. Well, see, the trouble is, you end up having to roll more dice to do stuff. You end up dodging into cages, trying to pick the ball up, and then having to make more dodges to get back out again. And at
Yeah.
some point, one of those fails, or you've run out of rerolls, or you've used dodge already, and they die really easily. Like the fact you managed to getting a goblin to 3 levels is a feat. Yeah,
Yeah.
this team have
But but
this team
but
have
I mean,
played for 81 games, and they have 3 level ups on goblins. I don't think that's because they're firing or rehiring them. Yeah,
no.
they just get murdered anyway.
Yeah,
Um,
but it can also, on the other hand, just saying the opposite of things.
mhm,
It could win you a game before dying.
yeah. And one thing I was going to go into before we went when we were going off on a bit of a tangent before, which I think this is relevant to, is uh, it's very easy for people to go, "Oh, what skill should I pick?" and that someone else to go, "Oh, this is the skill that people normally take." But it's
Mhm.
actually so important that you pick skills that go with the way you play. So it doesn't matter
Yeah.
if the best skill to pick on a 2 headed goblin is big hand. If you're so naturally risk averse that you're never going to dodge into a cage and try and pick up with 2 hands just because it's too many dodges, then you shouldn't pick big hands. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
There is like this thing where people ask about skills, and I love answering those questions because I love giving advice that is in a vacuum and means nothing because it depends on how you play so much.
Yeah. Totally true.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with sidestep, says Wolfbark, which I also agree with. That's my go-to stunty level up with agility only access.
Uh,
Um,
yeah. Probably I would go on the other way because I'm a lot more risky coach. I take risks for high rewards.
mhm.
So I would probably go either the big hands or extra arm or both. I can see him taking that after. Um, just to go for that because that's my playstyle. I will do it. I can't stop myself from doing it.
Mm.
The safer option is the sidestep, but on the other hand, it won't gain you a lot of things during a match.
I mean, a lot of time it really helps for repositioning, and I think
Yeah.
sidestep is one of my favorites. I have tried the underworld put foul appearance on everyone and make every block, uh, have to roll a d6 and not avoid a one
Mhm.
all the time, and it's rubbish. It doesn't work. Don't bother. I can tell you that now.
Good to know.
Yeah,
We
as
don't need to go into trying that. It's too tough to
it's
level up.
it's kind of fun. It's kind of interesting. Yeah, Wolfbuck says he's tried it. It doesn't work as well. So take his advice even more so. But yeah, it's a bit like Hail Mary pass and a bomb. It's a lovely idea, and you can
Oh,
you
come
think, oh,
on.
that's an
Why?
awesome idea, but it's terrible. It doesn't work in real life. It's just not worth
Why
it.
you destroy my dream?
Sorry. So of all the people to get this result correct, it was only Spartacus himself, for obvious reasons, and
Yeah.
disappointingly Uldar. God damn
No,
it!
it was one more, please.
Was it?
I I found one.
Oh wait, no, it was you and Uldar. Spartacus didn't even vote for himself. I apologise. I was
Come on,
I
I
was I was
found
jumping
one.
to conclusions. I knew it. I was so aggrieved at Uldar having correctly guessed this one. I didn't bother looking at what the other name was properly. Um,
Artclair says I was painting, just laughed at that, and now I have to redo the face.
uh, yeah. I mean, yeah, Shorty basically says, well, nothing really works when you're a goblin except fouling, and even that, you know. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
And Wolfbark's message about it's good on Noga Warriors because your oppo triggers it FA if you get to punch them back with Noga Warrior was actually modded because FA apparently is possibly swearing. I don't know. FAU is was caught in case that was you saying fuck you, which I'm fine with you saying fuck you, but you know you might have to say it in voice rather than typing it out. Anyway, so yes, I allowed it through, but that post was actually from earlier when Shawnee said nothing works well. Anyway, all right, that's it, right?
Yep.
We're done for this game. So now we're on to a game which I couldn't remember how it was, even though I played it. So my game against the Bretts, which
Okay, we all know you diced your opponent.
well, no, it wasn't a dicing. It
Yeah, okay.
was.
I'm sure Aldar
It
will agree with
wasn't.
me.
It wasn't. I'm not saying it's great skill. What it was is basically Oxo Chicken is a very new coach, right? And he's got to this level from this is like his first Rebel team when he came out of minors and stuff. Is that right? And
he started playing from the what was the event that
oh yeah, he was
the
newspaper, the online
yeah,
magazine thing.
yeah, and he went he played I think from that event straight into Division 5 and straight Division 3 and now here.
Yeah. So
impressive record.
Very impressive play,
yeah.
you know. But he told me in the game. He told me a bit later. I might have like actually Eurogamer. Thanks, Aldar. I might have actually kind of been a bit nice, been a bit you know less harsh than what the actual result ended up being, because he told me like a 2/3 or 3/4 of the way through the game that was the first game he's ever played against Kislev. So and basically I sacked the ball turn 1, I sacked the ball turn 2, got the ball back on turn 2, and he lightning bolted me. So you know he used up his wizard, but you know there was a lot of clearly inexperience against Kislev play going on. He's played a total, according to the Spike bot, he's played a total of 40 games. And only with this one team. So he might have played other practice games that Spikebot hasn't seen, but you know, yeah. So his record against a team like Kislev is going to be bad, and I wonder if he's played the Vampires because I don't think he's therefore probably not played Vampires either. And yeah, so his general play was perfect, was spot on. He was doing a lot of really good things. If he wasn't playing Kislev, it wouldn't have been 3-0, but it was. So essentially, I got the ball away, and then so one of his blitzers died in like doing an unlucky dodge. That was like maybe a bit of a dicing as well. But he appoed him and he ended up being on the bench. But still, I got the ball and essentially stalled for the first 8 turns of the game, and then when I received the ball in my turn, I scored really quickly, so it's 2-0 up. There wasn't really much he could do left, and he'd used, I think, all of his re-rolls and a lot of effort, you know, trying to stop me scoring in the first half and the beginning of the second half, and it wasn't too hard for me to get the ball back again. So, but yeah, it was clearly just inexperience of, and it is like what I was talking about before when we were talking about Crystal Hunter. You know, the playing one race a lot or playing, you know, all the races. Yes, I agree totally. I think Octo Chicken played generally perfectly. It just happens that doesn't really work very well when you're playing against Kislev, who have leap everywhere. And I only had 2 diving tackle, and he went through diving tackle so much and didn't get triggered once. It was so irritating.
Yeah.
But you know,
come on, don't
I totally agree. His skill level was really high for generally working out how to play Blood Bowl, but then, you know, it was too easy for someone who's got Agi for Kislev to just hit the ball in a way which other teams can't. You know.
Well, don't get me wrong on that, but when we made our first not recap, the opening of the division,
Yeah.
when I told you about this guy, which I don't know, of course,
Mhm.
uh, his achievements is remarkable. He has to be a very tactical player to achieve it. Not knowing, of course, all the races, so that is his only disadvantage. He's learning them steadily, but I can't think that there are a lot of coaches, more than 10, 15 maybe, that in 40 games they will get from Eurogame, and I think he was a finalist or won it. I don't remember exactly. Into Division 5, winning it, into Division 3, and then to Division 2, and playing really competitively.
And it should be mentioned with Brett as well.
Yeah, yeah. But
So
yeah, I don't know a lot of people, a lot of coaches that could actually do that when they start playing the game. It's pretty amazing.
yeah, he's like basically this is his one team that he's played Blood Bowl with, as far as I'm aware of. So these are all the games with which he's experienced Blood Bowl, as far as I'm aware of, and that he can play to
Mhm.
this level is an impressive testament to his to
Yeah,
his
I
intelligence.
totally agree to Wolfbark's comment that Octo Chicken is pretty amazing for such a new player.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, 2 wins and a draw and 2 losses, which against the likes of Wolfbark, Random Boy, Gaudi, these other two, I don't know. It's
Yeah,
it's an amazing record for a team so new. It really is. Anyway,
yeah.
uh,
I mean, if I was in your league, I would get one win randomly out of dicing someone, and then probably a draw, and the rest would be defeats. And I am considered more experienced than him, so he's earning his spot.
yeah, and only 2 people thought that I would beat him in this game.
Don't blame us. Those two people were crazy.
And one of them was me. So basically, thank you, Arctic Antarctic, for believing in me when no one else did. Jeez.
What Arctic thought you would win?
Yeah.
How did you think about it, Arctic?
Wait, Arctic's not even there. Arctic's another one who this is his first point in the recaps.
Okay.
Some would say a fool's errand, but no. And now I need to add another line, another piece of text. Da, da,
I'm
da.
coming back in 1 minute, okay?
Oh, now is the time you
Yeah.
choose to go. As I'm trying to
Yeah.
type. Yeah, great, thanks. Whoops! Typed on the wrong computer. Now I can't see the chat. I hope no. Don't say anything, anyone. I can't read it. So much professionalism. Jesus. Anyway, all right, I'm back now. You can type as much rudeness as you want, and I can put it past the modding thing. I'm just going to create a 1 for now, and then I'll forget who it is and leave it there. Whoa! And Ginka Bites. Oh, I saw you follow someone recently. I was like, oh, I hope they don't follow me so I don't have to say that name. Jesus. Gehikabe Bites? Is that, sorry for mangling your name, but thank you for the follow. Gigabytes. Is that what it's supposed to be? It's supposed to be gigabytes, isn't it? Gigabytes. Something like that. Anyway. Yeah, 1 point for Arctic, and I've given myself a point already, even though it looks like it's gone off the screen. I'm not sure what Arctic is saying I'm being rude about. It might be the name. I apologise profusely if that is the case. All right, so we didn't look at the levels. I skipped past that for a second, like a fool. Oh, and immediately redeeming the 69 coin reward. Thank you. Yes, I mean, you know, nothing like my beautiful use of the language to. Wait, what? Oh, I know what I've done there. I was like, why is it still showing Blood Bowl 2? And I've realised that the reason it's still showing Blood Bowl 2 is because I went to my desktop and my desktop has Blood Bowl 2 on the front, which is surprising. Alright, let's try that again. Boom. Okay, so unfortunately, what was his name? Going Laham lost a player in this. They lost. It was someone good, wasn't it? Oh no, they didn't. No, I didn't kill anyone important. It's fine. Oh, it would show here, wouldn't it? Of course. Guy de Lombard died in the first half, but he used the Apo on him, and I think I KO'd Monsieur Prosciutto relatively early as well. As you can see, a dead lineman. Oh, an MVP went to Harriet, the guard peasant, who I'm pretty certain will be getting block after that. Did I actually show the team thing? So was that?
Okay, I'm back.
Anker's died. We're only going to get Ankia. And yes, unsurprisingly, Harriet, the guard peasant, got block. Overlooking the peasant, as you should. Yeah, one skull, unfortunately. And I did get a level as well. I got a level up on a plus strength, wrestle, tackle, strip ball lineman. I can hear you're eating. Did you just go away to get a snack? You know, all this.
No.
I've got to answer the door. I'm just hungry.
No, I totally went to answer the door, but there was with my wife a Mars came in the door.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I had to open it.
Okay. What would you take?
Okay, don't worry.
Yeah. What would you take as a skill for a plus strength wrestle strip tackle lineman? It was a normal, so you only have general access to pick. I think Wolfbark would get this because his plus strength scary player has a similar choice. Go on.
I have no idea what he has, but I would go pro.
Yes, it is normals. Pro is an interesting choice because, you know, it gives you a chance to reroll everything. The other guy talking is definitely Greek, says gigabytes. Oh, wait a second. Jivasak, can you say gigabytes in a Greek accent for me, please? Is that how you'd spell gigabytes if you were Greek?
Yeah. Gigabytes.
Wolfbark says horns.
Yeah, I am.
No, Kislev, do not get horns. Of the general skills that your plus strength gutter runner has. All right, fine. Clearly, this game is not working very well as a guessing game. I am the only person who thinks that a good choice of skill on a plus strength player is Frenzy.
Is what?
Frenzy. Because, you know, he's strong, so he's less likely to frenzy trap himself. He gets more dice, and you can, you know, you can threaten the sidelines a bit and be annoying.
Yeah, true.
Yeah?
True. I like that decision. Yeah.
I've been wanting to get frenzy for about 4 or 5 levels, and like I've been waiting for him. Like so, the two plus agility line frogs have gained like 2 or 3 levels like that. I was like, you know, it really helps. I really want frenzy on this team. I like having frenzy on a plus strength player. Pro was also an option, I've got to admit. That was the other main one. Maybe Fend to keep him alive because he's probably going to die at some point. I have got pro on like three of my players now, and I'm finding it actually really good. Like the number of times I've run out of rerolls and pro has saved me makes having three of them so worthwhile. Yeah, so the other suggestions were pro from Juvasak. You said pro, right? Didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Wolfbark said horns.
Yeah.
Thanks. Oh yeah, Dauntless was also a thought, but Dauntless, Dauntless was a very very fleeting thought. I must
Yeah,
admit,
no.
I did actually consider the block for the glorious Bressel. No, not shadowing, and we've basically gone through all the other options. Do you want an extra recapper in for the next match shortly? Oh, what? Do you want to join me to talk about your game so you can crow about it? Yeah, sure. Go on then. You know where we are. Yes, but we've done the points. We've done the thing. So the next match is, as Aldar has maybe suggested, is his game. And it was an exciting 1-1 game of murder between the two biggest murder teams in the division. And having him here will help. I assume he's grabbing a what's it? Oh, RTN Dark says I had Frenzy on a 2 strength 4 Kislev lineman in another league. They're monsters at discouraging sideline cages. Yeah, well, like sideline caging against sleepers is just silly in the first place, but when they've got plus strength, and I've got a Garda now as well.
Well, hello.
All right, Aldar, how are you? Oh, you're a little
Good.
bit. Yeah, I think you're a little bit quiet. Wait a second, let me see if I can turn
Hello, Aldar.
Hey, Juve.
yes. So your game. Are you very very happy with a 1-1 draw?
Yes and no. First of all, 2 14-player teams entered the pitch
14
by turn
players, both of you.
on each team.
Yeah.
And I think by turn 13, we were playing blitzball with 7 versus 7
with
no bench.
I am showing your team with the dead,
Yes.
dead 100. You have lost 150 SPP Ball Centaur and a 32 SPP Claw Mighty Blow Guard blocker. I mean, this kind of game is exactly what everyone wishes all the Claw double matchups were like, right?
This week I'm going to play Failfish, and before I played Arctic, he was going to have 300k inducements against me. I now have 300k inducements against Failfish.
Yeah. I mean,
both me and Arctic for the next match lost 600k TV.
This is perhaps the greatest. This is the result that everybody wants when they talk about Claw taking out other Claw. He literally did kill one of your Claw players, and he MNG'd the other one. So, so Failfish is going to get extra damage against you.
Yeah, and me and Arctic, we were laughing the whole match because it was just so completely insane, funny, stupid, and awesome. It was just silly, and it was just a maul fest and dumb things. It was just fun.
Manus says, "Woohoo! Ignore the fapping sound, boys. It's nothing." Yeah. But it does also mean both your teams get loads of SPP, right?
That's the comfort. Huh?
Always look on the sad side.
Well, I lost what, 200 SPP?
Yeah, almost, not quite. 180, but yeah.
Yeah. So you got how many back? Listen to Cornite. He's trying to cheer you up. You got like 15, 18 SPP back.
He got 20,
look on the bright side.
He got 23. That's loads for a game. 23 is a lot.
It's not even the value of the list of the player that died.
It was fun. The guy who died from me, the Claw blocker, he was the nickel one, and he survived 1.5 seasons, and people have been blitzing him all the time. So
yeah,
it's good.
But finally, that niggled player is gone. So actually, he really did help.
But it was just yeah. Also, as Arctic said, you thoroughly enjoyed the ridiculousness of it all. It was just fun and silly, and his beast got injured quite early and didn't regen.
Yeah.
And there was another guy who got injured early, but he regen. He stood on the sideline the whole first half.
You mean Apo? He's he's a chaos team, not Nurgle.
Yeah.
I am looking at the right team, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Right. He was Apo.
Yeah.
There was a lot it was just insane. And his warriors, they were flying a bit out the first half and then came back. they got knocked the fuck out.
Manu Satra says the best. Ignore the fapping shouts, boys. It's nothing.
Yeah.
But it was just no. Often when you see two claw teams meet, one claw team is just gonna out remove the other. Often.
Yeah.
The guy who started blocking, here it was just basically back and forth the whole match. It was so even. I think up until the end, we were equal on players, then maybe up one, and then you lost a few, and then you were down one player, and it was very even. It was just fun.
I mean, considering the damage your team took, it's lovely to hear you laugh about it now. If you're someone who plays a claw team and gets pissy when your team aren't removing your opposition, or when your own team get removed, it's kind of like you have to be able to accept the fact that you're going to play other claw teams and you're going to get, this is going to happen to you at some point, right?
If you look at my team, this is the third Chorf I'm losing in the whole career. It's the first bull.
Really? Wow.
Yes.
That's incredible.
Yes.
But if you see the stats, I mean, 10 armor breaks for the Chorfs, resulting in 5 injuries. So 50% were injuries.
Yeah.
And
four
out of
12 blockers and one bull I've lost.
Yeah, and out of 15 armor breaks, 6 injuries and 2 kills. So 50+% of the armor breaks were either injuries or kills in this match. So it was a terrifying thing. It could have been KO stunned, but no.
The bull died to a foul.
Oh, so he wasn't even
foul or something like that.
He wasn't even clawed. He was fouled.
He was fouled.
And there's no dirty player on Knuckles Yellowhorns. And it was a draw as well. So it's like, actually, it's really bad. It's bad for both of your results wise, and bad for your teams.
Arctic says
I don't care. I'm still above you.
Yep, that's yeah.
Yeah. Arctic says there was a point where I could have tried to stop the score or keep hitting and fouling, and they scored.
There was a reason why I hope you watched this match, because there was you could have made so many clips here of silly, stupid things, injuries, death, everything.
Yeah, true.
I mean,
it's just silly.
I saw you. I've been, I saw, what's the word? Sorry, I've been, what's the word? Distracted by a message, which made me realise I've made a mistake. Oh well, yeah. So, I saw you talking about it in Discord, but I've been kind of a bit absent from Blood Bowl this week, and I was like, oh, there's a bit of and it was only at the beginning of the stream when you mentioned, that we should have clipped it, that I looked at the match report and went, oh my god, I should have clipped that. I feel very guilty. Damn it.
It was, and yeah, if you have the time, watch the replay. It's just we're both making quite a few mistakes, and we are taking some greed blocks, and we're basically going for some extra murder and everything, and basically what two claw teams should.
Yeah.
But it's fun.
Well, I must admit, it's great hearing you being so cheery, and I mean, well, when I played Arctic's team, I was pretty bitter about the damage he did to my team, and it was way less than he did to yours. So your mood is impressive, basically.
So all I can say is it's a bit of TV trimming. My team is still strong. I got 2 claw chorfs, 2 claw pomachorfs actually. I get a new bull. I can build up again, give him guard from the start, and make the team even stronger.
Yeah.
So we would. Shall we expect healing from your team?
Say that again.
Trust me.
Hmm?
What did you say, Dewey?
Shall we expect your team to provide us with more kills on your opponents?
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's basically your plan for most games, right?
I'm not done. I'm still in the top. I'm still in the race. I'm still going for that playoff spot.
Yep.
I don't care. And it doesn't matter if I lose my whole team. I'm gonna go for it.
So you can. Oh, that actually. So you're both pretty closely matched in the table as well.
It was spot. What is 4 and 5 or 3 and 4 before this week?
Mm-hmm. So
we were very close.
The draw's given people a chance to catch up a little bit.
Yeah, we basically just fell down a spot, both of us, something like that.
And I see Arctic's already played his next game as well. Yeah.
But don't worry, Cornite. Until the 10th week that you will play them, he will have more.
Yeah. Well, I'm playing Wolfbark more or less after this this recap. So
are you playing week 10, Cornite?
Pardon? Yeah.
Playing. So no playoffs for you either this season.
Yeah. I'm not expecting to get to playoffs ever. It's a tough division. I'm happy wherever I end up.
Yeah. Like we said before, it's just good coaches, good teams, and it's how it goes in the day often for a lot of these teams who's going to win.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I without a doubt say I'm probably one of the worst coaches in this division, but my team has been carrying me. Now I have to step it up and play better.
I wouldn't say you're the worst coach. I think last season you played badly for a reason we've already talked about and stuff.
Yeah.
But
a health issue and everything, so that was a reason. But well, still I lost fewer games than you did.
Yes, that is indeed true.
And I didn't say I was the worst coach. I said I was probably one of the worst coaches in this division.
Oh, so it's still better than me, but so you, the second worst coach
I won't call
me.
You bad. We just have a bit something from last season that's a bit fun.
But come on, Aldar, you a little bit you are disappointing me. I have to say, I have to be honest with you.
How come?
Because I was expecting to hear a comment after you play me. What are you gonna roll to, Cornite? I was expecting a comment like that.
I will wait till week 10.
Yeah.
So you will speak on the field with a lot of skulls of Kislev lying around?
Yeah,
exactly.
Okay.
The only thing I'm a bit salty about in this game.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
that 150 SPP bull centaur, that would have been my first Latin player ever.
Yeah. I mean, there's still time for you got other players who are almost as leveled, right?
My ball carrier.
Yeah. Yeah, he's gonna get there pretty soon, isn't he?
Yeah.
If he doesn't die.
But yeah, I just thought you needed a bit of things about this match, and because you didn't have time to clip it, because you had other things to do. So a bit extra because it was just insane.
Yeah. So you got a leveled up Hobgoblin. The dirty player Hobgoblin, was that from MVP? It was, I think. Yeah, MVP for the dirty player gets level up. Does he get fired or does he get something else? I'm guessing wrestle.
What did I give him? Oh, he actually rolled agility, right?
But you didn't take agility, did you?
No. Not 3 Hobgoblins for agility. I don't need 3.
Yeah.
And I've said before, I don't like too many skills on Hobgoblins.
Mm-hmm.
And he might also get fired at some point. but at the moment I don't have the money for it.
Yeah. So you've given him Fend. That's an interesting choice for a first skill.
Yeah. Wanted to try something new.
Okay, cool.
Always going either block or wrestle or something like that. So,
Mm.
let's try this.
I guess you're going to fire him if you're thinking about firing him when you get a bit more money anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you're going to have to buy the new bull first, and then a
new blocker.
and then new blocker. Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
But that looks a bit as a. I went from 20 TV to 1500.
Yeah.
For an
And
8 match. And Arctic went from 2330 to 1760.
yeah, both lost 600 TV. That's incredible.
Yeah. It was just fun. It's good fun. It's Blood Bowl. It happens.
Yeah.
Sometimes with a hammer, sometimes with a nail. We were both.
Well, do you want to hang around for the second part as well? Well, we're going to do the last game of. So actually, I've already upgraded. So only one person actually guessed it would be a draw, and that was Saitalen, and I've given him a point already. So we can move on to the next game, which is the Tanking Generals against the Moist Owlets, which was the Wood Elves outscoring the Failfish's Chaos.
I will sadly have to leave because dinner is done.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, thanks for joining us for this anyway, Aldar.
You're welcome.
Thanks for joining, Aldar.
Yeah, and watch it if you can. It's fun. See you guys.
Cheers. See ya. Okay. Oh, actually, no, I didn't finish that because there was also. I noticed there was so the Chaos team, Arctic's team, got a niggle, but also I think they got a level up, didn't they? Did they get a level up? No, they didn't. They just got a niggle. I'm wondering if they fired the niggle, especially now they've played a game. And where are they? And I want to have a quick look at the team. They have not yet fired the niggle. In fact, it's the armor-busted one who's niggled, keeping them all. So he's still there.
Yeah. He might have other plans of him, like retiring on the field.
Yeah. I mean...
for the time being, I mean, it's not that bad.
No. I mean, he's got like 2 or 3 niggles, hasn't he? So...
I think 5. No.
Against other Chaos Kill teams, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
But anyway, so here's the whole week. So yeah, we're going on to the Tanking Generals against the Moist Owlets next. 2-1 to the Owlets. I'm guessing that because the Owlets managed 2 touchdowns on their plus Agi catcher, I wonder if one of them was what's the word? A one-turner. But I can actually check.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Mana says remove Apo rights and he'll die eventually, but there's about 4 or 5 players of Arctics who shouldn't have Apo rights anymore. So I can tell you, in fact, that what the hell? The Moist Owlets got the ball first, score on turn 8. Obviously, Failfish fails to score back. And then the Owlets turn over the Chaos and get the ball across the line on turn 12. So it's 2-0 up, and then the Tanking Generals score back on turn 16. So that's what happened.
So he had secured the victory.
Yeah, so the elves were ahead for the whole game basically. The Chaos did get 3 Kaz, or it looks like But only got SPP from one Kaz, so I wonder if either two of them were self-inflicted or a foul. I'm not sure. Oh, Failfish did induce a loner dirty player, so I'm assuming that there was some fouling.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's actually really smart to induce a loner dirty player for this match.
Yeah, especially when you're down TV against an elf team with only 11 players.
Yeah.
He might. I wonder if he got. I would guess he had enough for a bribe as well. So I'm pretty sure that he would have been trying to get injuries all game.
Yeah.
You know, fouling and cazzing everyone.
Yeah, let me check a minute if he had a bribe or.
Oh well, he was 300 TV down, maybe 240 actually, and Dirty Player Beastman, it leaves him exactly, almost exactly enough for a bribe. So I'm
Yeah,
pretty
he
much
did take
certain.
the
Oh, actually,
bribe,
I can check here.
Yeah. I just checked it.
He's got a bribe.
Yeah.
That's the replay viewer that one of the other players made, by the way, in case anyone's wondering about that. Mana says it's not like he can annoy you by regenning when you're a Chaos team with a niggle, while really good guys don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
He's going to go down in a blaze of glory against the Nurgle team, says Arctic. Anyway, yeah, that'll do. So anyway, not much else to say about this game. I don't,
No, not really.
Elves turn over, Chaos, score, don't die fast enough for the Chaos to win the game, essentially, I think is what this is.
Yeah, and unfortunately those war dancers survived again.
Ooh, so there were 6 KOs by the for the Wood Elves, and I am actually going to check what their KO recovery rate was, because they scored on turn 8. So, ooh, I don't see any. Oh wait, there we are. They only had 2 wake up after KO rolls, so those 6 KOs must have all been late in the game. They must have all been in the second half after the Moist Owlets were already up 2-0. So there must have only been 2 KOs in the second half, or 1 even earlier, and then 4 KOs happened in the last drive while Failfish was going forward. Oh, Wolfbuck said you watched some of this one. Excellent. But yeah, sounds a lot to me like Elves weren't leaving the pitch, scored 2, and then, didn't leave the pitch fast enough for the Chaos to score multiple times back.
Yeah. I mean that's the way of Elf. That's the way Elf are playing.
And I actually predicted that Failfish would win this one, and he didn't. While there are, in fact, 6 of you who thought that it would be...
tell me that includes me.
I'm pretty sure it does include you, yes.
Yeah.
Yep, you get another point, Ordar. Well done.
Yep, I'm really proud of me now. I got 2 of the matches right.
2 matches a week. That should see you through to some point. I don't know when.
Yeah.
Ooh. So first of all, at the bottom, I'm going to do Arctic's score because he doesn't have a name yet. So he goes up to 2.
What do you mean he doesn't have a name yet?
Oh, because I haven't. So on screen, he's just a floating 2 at the bottom. And
Come on, I'm still at 8.
Yeah, give me a chance. I'm going through this alphabetically. No, I'm not. I'm going through this in the order that people clicked in. And next is Failfish. And then you. And then Wolfbark. Oh no, and then Cythlen, and then Wolfbark. Because otherwise I'll forget someone and people bitch at me when I miss anyone out. Although I probably missed out loads of people. Anyway, so there you go. That is the current score. I'm a double figures. I have been for a while. Aldar's on 13, so now he's going to get everything wrong because that's what 13 being unlucky means.
I really don't think so.
No?
Pretty good.
No. All right, fine. So I have actually I put up the bot predictions page before on the oh crapping fuck bollocks. There we go. And I had already made my predictions at the beginning of the week. Hey, Cyclem redeemed the funny reward. 69, dude. I don't know why that's funny, but it is.
You set it up the price at 69.
Yeah, of course.
That's weird.
Why?
I don't know.
Because 69 is like sexual, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then also highlight my
Totally.
message is 420 because 420, dude.
Ah.
I don't know what sending a message in sub only mode does, so I've left that at 350. And the ones where you get to modify and choose a random emote are all combinations of 69420.
Yeah.
Because I haven't made an emote yet, so you can't do any of them until you've collected enough points. I don't do enough streams for anyone to get that number of points, I don't think. And once I do an emote, I'll give them a score that's actually, achievable, maybe. Anyway, so as you can see, I have on the screen. Is there a way to does this? No, it doesn't. Damn it. Is there a way to increase the size of the text in Discord? Anyway, I have it on the screen the predictions bot. I have already put them out there, and I already did all mine at the beginning of the week. I did put underneath, at this point, if the games haven't been played, I reserve the right to change anything that's not been played in case actually looking at teams at this point makes me realise that my prediction was wrong. So all of these predictions are, blind, more or less. But anyway, first game is Random Boys Bloodsuckers against Nurgle, Murgle, Urgle. And this game has not been played, so we can still guess this one. And I went for Random Boy. Yes. What do you think? And in fact, it looks like lots of people have gone for Random Boy in this game. Even though, Nurgle are not an easy opponent for vampires.
Yeah, I've gone for Random Boy also.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not easy opponents by any means, the Nurgle team. They can be pretty killing. He's missing two of his best Nurgle warriors though, which should play a big part in trying to holding toe-to-toe with the Vamps.
It's gone up to 14 players. I assume that means there is going to be a lot of fouling. Because
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. But the stand firm warrior missing is a big deal. I mean, he's missing 420k for this match out of two warriors.
Yeah.
So now his guard piece is only one, the Beast of Nurgle. I don't think it will be an easy game by any means. But I think those two warriors missing with the guard and the one with the stand firm also will play a big part. Because it's easier that way to hypnotic gaze into blitzing the ball.
Yeah, I mean, it's less of a threat to hypnogaze a block or blodge warrior than it is to hypnogaze a mighty blow claw warrior when you know that you're going to get punched the next turn.
One of them had tackle also, so yeah, it's risky staying next to him.
But I assume also there's going to be a lot of fouling, and tense is bad for thralls. So I'm surprised. I'm surprised it's quite as one-sided with only so far Arctic Antarctic and Failfish thinking that Wereraven might win it, but that's such as it is. All right, so the next game is Thurnlow's Imperishable 4 against Manus's the War Tigers. Oh, we should add actually that the bot thinks that the Nurgle are going to win that game, but the bot doesn't know about players missing. Okay, so Imperishable 4 versus Manus. Hey Manus, he was in chat. Pretty evenly spaced predictions from people, and the bot's going for Manus on this one. I'm going for Thurnlow. I think Khemri are a good, anti-orc team generally, and he is a very good coach.
Well, Khemri is by a fact one of the stronger opponents for the orcs. Quite
literally the stronger opponents, yeah. Although Manus does have Manus does have almost as much. Oh, what the hell? Yeah, does have as much, if not more, strength.
Yeah, he definitely has. I mean, it's a pretty heavy strength upgraded orc team, this one. You regularly don't see that. I'm going for Manus, only for the reason I think the inducements can't compensate for this high team value difference. That's the only reason I'm going for the orcs. I don't think there is enough to take to make up for that difference.
I mean, Thurnlow has enough players.
Yeah, he has.
I don't know, but he could add more strength by either taking Setek or what's his name, the Tomb Guardian, Ramtut.
Ramtut, yeah.
And both of them add a lot of strength.
Yeah, that's definitely an option. But other than the mighty blow Tomb Guardian, the rest of the Tomb Guardians just stand there and hit the orcs. The orcs don't matter that.
But this game is not going to be about hitting very much, is it? Like, you've got a lot of high strength, but you've also got the orcs have got high armor. The might blows that you can't expect the orcs to leave the pitch. And okay, so the skeletons can leave the pitch, but that's not enough for the orcs to get past them. I think maybe I should go for a draw. Maybe you're right. But
well, I think what is the dangers here is that
I mean, he could have Setek and Ramtut for the TV difference, right? That's 600 TV.
I think it is.
Yeah, and he's almost
720.
Yeah, 720. So he could take a bribe, Setek and Ramtut, and have 4 Tomb Guardians and five Tomb Guardians and 2 Strength 4 Blitzras against the massively strength orc team.
Yeah.
And
if he goes on offense first, that will help him a lot. I mean, he has to foul, to be honest, against this orc team. Ideally, but I think he has to remove a player at his first turn. So maybe fouling a lineman, which in this team there is, I think, no bad lineman. All are leveled up. Yeah. With
the lowest the lowest TV player is 70 with wrestle lineman, which is worth a dirty player skeleton foul with a bribe. That's for certain.
Yeah, and that one is on the bench. Maybe even the guard Glitzer is on the bench to get the strength up lineman in front.
Maybe a draw is actually the most likely outcome, but I'm sticking with Thurnlow. Cyclone thinks draw, and he is a a good Khemri coach as well.
Yeah, I mean it's really close. It's really close. Anything can happen, and I think a big factor will be who attacks first.
I think, yeah, maybe. I think a big factor will be what what Thurnlau spends his inducement money on, and whether it works or not. So I don't hate the idea of taking the chef against an orc team with only 3 rerolls and no leader, when you're Khemri with 2 rerolls and leader.
Well,
but I looking at the idea of taking Setek and Ramta appeals to me greatly, though.
yeah, I mean he has to add strength. I don't think it's possible any other way to compete this match to its full length, of course, because skeletons will get injured. We all know that.
Yeah.
It will happen in the match. So if he starts falling down on players and he doesn't have the strength on top to fight back, it will start steamrolling down the game.
I mean, Thurnlau's playing. I mean, they're both playing teams that are pretty foul happy at the worst of times.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even be that surprised to see three bribes Thurnlau's within Thurnlau's inducement choices.
That's not a bad idea. Also, I mean, the Orcs doesn't have a dirty player.
The Orcs massively outguard the Khemri.
Yeah. Ramsa, I think, is a must in this game, at least.
Yeah.
I think he definitely needs him.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's one only Tomb Guardian, another than that nothing, so he has to make him at least roll 1 dice.
Mm-hmm.
But that strength 6 Black Orc is another, of course.
Well, I'm sticking with Thurnlau just because I've picked it and I think I should stick with it. And Failfish and Wolfbark both think so too, so that's interesting. Uldar has gone for Manus though, and Uldar has been correct a lot. So maybe he's right.
I hope he is, because I voted now for Manus also.
Are you just going to carry on voting in the same side as Uldar is every week?
I should start doing that probably, yeah.
Okay, so next game we have Spartacus's Kingslayers, the Underworld team, against Gaudi's Ravenclaws, the Skaven team. Now, normally, I think that Underworld is a very good matchup for Skaven. I think they tend to be as or slightly more killy, and have more chafe to go to be killed, while still having fast players. But I think Gaudi still should win this game. Wait, has it been played already? Should we check that? Yes, it's already been played. And yes, Gaudi has already won. Yay, I was right.
Really? When did that play?
It was played today. So, in fact...
When we started the stream, I didn't watch the final result, so probably around our start of the stream and now they finished.
Yeah, it was timed for 3:30 today, and so it finished. It started an hour before we started the stream, basically. So finished while we were still doing it.
Okay.
So there you go.
So I'm right.
Yeah, I'm right too. But we're not giving away the points until next week, because that would just confuse me if we do things like that.
Yeah. No, we're not.
And so much for Saitalen and Wolfbark, and Spartacus, obviously, who thought that Spartacus would win. Okay, next is my game against Wolfbark, which will be happening after this recap. I will not be streaming it because I want to concentrate against Wolfbark, and last few times I've streamed, I've lost because I'm not paying attention properly. So I'm trying to talk, and it's confusing.
What do you mean?
And also I've got a sore throat and I want to take the headphones off and stuff. But I am one of me and Arctic are the only people who voted for me. The bot heavily favours Wolfbark in a way that no other game is as heavily favoured on Wolfbark's side as this game, with 1.66 against 2.51. So even Spartacus suggesting a draw is quite a thingy. But yes, everyone else except for me, Spartacus, and Arctic have voted for Wolfbark. And I am not surprised, and in no way am I offended by the idea that Wolfbark is going to beat me. I'm also, missing my guard catcher, who I think would have been very useful in this game. So, and Wolfbark even gets inducements. It's like,
yeah, I think it will be a close game, to be honest. I don't think it will be easy for any of the two of you to win. Mostly, I'm aiming on voting for Wolfbark on the inducements. Mostly for that, I vote that he will win.
yeah, Skaven with the wizard basically, and then some.
Yeah, it's really tough to deal with. Though on the other hand,
thank you, Arctic. I need me to win as well. Sorry, Arctic says he needs us to win. He needs me to win.
On the other hand, you have 3 tackle players. You can also get near to the ball with the two of them.
3 tackle players. I think I've got 5.
3.
I've got 2 mighty blow tackle blitzers.
No, the blitzers I leave them.
They come. You're going to talk about them next. Okay.
Yeah. I think the 2 of the tackle players, which are agility 4, can easily catch up to a rat. Of course, not running in a straight line, but they can definitely mess his game up. The strength 4, of course, also, but I would rely more on the ones for this specific game. And then just basing the blitzer gives you a huge advantage. Just basing him against the rat, just not hitting with him, not doing anything. Only the diving tackle will force him to roll a lot.
I am expecting this to be a very high-scoring game with, me attempting to avoid being wizarded by scoring at every opportunity, and Wolfbark attempting to avoid being sacked by scoring at every opportunity. If it's 8-all at the end of the game, I would not be that surprised, and I'd be very happy with the draw at that much scoring. But yeah, I expect there to be a lot of scores.
Yeah, and now that I think of it, I will change my vote since the game has not been played yet, and I will vote for you to win.
Ooh.
Yeah, I really like the diving tackle.
So Cyclone just mentioned Skaven may be the matchup in which the 2 movement busts on the blitzers actually hurting a lot. So the fact that my 2 diving tackle players are movement busted is going to be problematic.
Yeah, I don't really think so. Only because of the fact that you don't have to blitz with them in this match, at least. Armor bricks will come. We all know it, that it will come on the Skaven, no matter if you have mighty blow or not.
And he does have 2 rats with armor busts, so that's going to help as well.
Yeah, but just imagine keeping the 2 linemen with agility 4 a little bit further back to be able to just dive in. It's a big edge for the game, and I expect the blitzer, of course, to mighty blow piling on whenever for a touchdown. You have more players right now.
Only just. I think I have 12. I think wait. Do we both have 12?
He has 12. Yeah.
Maybe I have 13.
You were missing 2 in the last match.
Yeah, but I also I've got 12 as well. I've got an MG for this as well.
Yeah, I think that is to your advantage. I think you can perform much better on 12 players than the rats can, according to the skills you have.
You see, I think that too, but I think that he's not going to have 12 players because I think he's going to induce either Skitter or Glart along with a wizard, and that will make it harder as well. But
yeah,
we will see.
Well, no way you play Wolfbark and it will be easy.
Yeah, exactly. As well, the fact is Wolf Bark.
There's not that much happening.
But it's Blood Bowl.
No.
Anyone can win. But oh my god, the bot does
Yeah.
not favour me in this one. I keep looking at 1.6 and going, Jesus. I mean, you know.
Yeah, Wolfbark is heavily favored by the bot.
I'm surprised as many. I'm surprised you're voting for me. I'm surprised, you know, there's that. It's
No,
that even. Anyway, you've changed
I
back.
actually like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, I didn't, and I'm voting for you
Okay.
now.
All right. So the next game is Arctic Antarctic's Nuffle Yellowhorns against Block You Like a Hurricane, Cytalen, which has already been played. And I, before knowing that Arctic Antarctic got beat up, voted for Block You Like a Hurricane, and Block You Like a Hurricane won.
Yeah.
Woo! Well done, Cyclone. But we will talk more about that next week.
Yeah.
I foolishly, after beating Oxo Chicken 3-0, decided that I should go for Aprog, who I didn't know anything else about, in the following game, and that was the Moist Owlets versus Going Laham, and Going Laham beat the Moist Owlets 2-0. So, boo. Well played,
Yeah,
Octo.
I think I voted that for a draw, but 2-0 I didn't expect that.
No. It'd be interesting to do some looking at, the peaks. I just wondered about the fact that, are all the Bash coaches going for one side and all the Agi coaches going for other side? Does that affect, who you play? Does that affect the kind of where you vote in these things? I wonder. Anyway, in the last game, which hasn't played yet, is Uldar against the Tanking Generals. Now, I'm not voting against Uldar just because he's being petty and voting against me. But the fact he's I voted for Failfish because I voted quite a lot for Failfish because I actually think Failfish is a very, very good player. Like more so than I think a lot of other good players are. Even in this division, I think he's a standout player for me. He's playing really well with a not complete Chaos team yet. This is still a needs more cooking level Chaos team. Against an Uldar team that's down. It's gone from being 300 TV above him to 200 TV below him. So
No, I think it's more 300.
300 TV below. Cool.
Yeah, and in one game. That's the joy of Blood Bowl. But he will have to take, I think he has to take 10 players. 7, 10, yeah. Aldar has 10 players, so he will.
So 250 TV of inducements for Uldar. I think Failfish is a really good coach, and I think that's what's going to win it for Failfish, and that's why I vote for him.
Oh yeah, definitely. He's an exceptional coach by any means, but I think Aldar will succeed in this one.
You and Uldar are alone in thinking that. Arctic Antarctic and Spartacus both think a draw. Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, my decision is not because of the inducements, which will be a big help. Even a bribe would be worth the deal, but there is only one player actually who can relatively blitz the ball carrier.
I know. I missed a lot of chat. But in this game, no, that's not true because there's lots of strength 4. He doesn't have any tackle, but you can look for pals.
Yeah, but I mean the ball carrier is strength 4 also.
Yeah.
With blodge.
Yeah, and Failfish has no tackle. That might be a problem.
Yeah, he can blitz, of course. With a wrestle guy, but I don't think Aldar as a coach to make a mistake to let him base with another and blitz with him also. So yeah, it will be no one-die blitz probably. It can succeed, of course, because of wrestle strip ball. But it will be tough.
Going back to the Arctic Antarctic game that's already happened, Arctic says stupid Kemri, and Cytlem says something had to happen. The 2 Kemri teams in last place was not acceptable. In which Arctic said, Cytlem, I need you to rise up the rankings now. Cytlem says, I need that too.
Yeah.
I think it's funny. this division is competitive enough that rankings can still change quite a bit. And like it's one thing that, you know, from recapping a fair bit and making a lot of judgments on where the standings are at the beginning of the season, who you play when has such a massive, you know, thing. Like I'm below Aldar, but I've clearly had a far harder run in than he has. And that's the only reason that he's above me.
Yeah, but come on, if you exclude Wolfbark, who is 4-0-0 so far, I can see all the rest of the coaches in 4 games having not won the 2 of them.
Yeah.
Either a draw or a defeat. That's pretty good for a league, I think.
Yeah.
That shows quality in the league, that there are coaches that are really, really good. And that the teams play a big part. So the order also plays a big part in it. Because you see, it's the best time to play with Aldar's team, to be honest.
Yeah, that's true.
After that match. So not that he's at a huge disadvantage, but of course his opponent is happier to play with this team than the team was a season ago, a match ago.
Or even, yeah.
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 I mean, it plays a big part. But I'm really enjoying this league because it's.
In fact,
you are so close.
Well, so going back to this last game, the bot also thinks that this is the closest game of the week, with Failfish slightly edging Aldar with 1.99 chance of winning against 2.01, which is, you know, very close. Obviously, that again ignores Aldar losing 2 players, which probably will have an effect. But anyway, we've been going for for slightly over 2 hours to be exact.
Yeah.
To be exact, slightly over 2 hours, whatever. But you know, I'm gonna stop and have a break for 10 minutes before I play Wolfbark.
Okay.
So I'm gonna raise someone.
Good luck in your game, by the way.
I'm going to need it against Wolfbark.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I'm hoping for random Kaz to kill all the rats really early, and it just be one of those games where I don't need to think at all. That would definitely be, you know, my ideal.
Throw a rock or something like that.
Oh no, no. I want actual SPP from it. I want to actually Kaz people. No, not through fouls or rocks or random dodges. I want the SPP. Damn it.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think that's too much to ask, is it?
No, it's not.
Okay, and no one else is streaming Rebel that I can see. So I think I'm going to go and host Rick Reckless, because I still owe him like 1 billion hosts.
He's just such a nice guy.
Yeah, well, basically, he's hosted me like 3 or 4 times with like 100 people each time, and I go and send him back like 5 a time. So, you know, but it's such is life. Yeah. But anyway, thank you. Yeah, Slyland, thank you for joining me. I say this every week, but you know, it's the people talking in chat and stuff, and caring enough to watch the recaps that make them entertaining as well. So thank you for being around and chatting, and thanks everyone who said anything, and anyone who watched. And thank you as well, of
thank
course,
you everyone.
Juvasak for co-casting with me.
It's a pleasure always.
Always. And I am going to host Rick now, basically, or within about 3 seconds. Goodbye.
Bye everyone.
And we're out. Cool.
Okay.
That was fun.
Yep.